Test, test, test. There we go. Hey, how's it going, guys? Let me know if that works. It seems a little better. I can see it working here. So we do have to do this with display capture today. I'm hoping that's not too much of an issue. Let me know if you guys see the game itself, all of the custom scenarios, etc. And actually, I think we're going to go ahead and try to play probably one of the modern miscellaneous or modern Middle East wars. It's just, they're really fun. What can I say? You know, we've got the Falklands War, we've got the First Chechen War. I don't think we're going to go into the Falklands because we actually were going to do a tutorial, or we're thinking about doing a tutorial on naval battles. But we're going to have to wait and see whether or not it works, and basically if we can accomplish it. It's really not entirely based on what we want to do. Mic is a bit low. Okay, we'll turn it up a bit. See if that's better. That's okay. It's good to hear in-game clicks. This is a loud mouse, to be fair. Oh, yes, definitely. There are lots of scenarios, so I'm going to let you guys decide. Of course, I can give you some suggestions, and basically, the invasion of Grenada, which actually happened by the U.S., we could try that, and that does have some naval units in it, as well as helicopter units. I wouldn't do the Falklands War, again, just because we want to probably cover that in the naval scenario. But there's a lot of other ones we could do. Yugoslavia 99 is a hypothetical invasion of Serbia. Or in this case, Yugoslavia, if it still existed, which we know it doesn't. And basically trying to hit the Serbian forces and dismantle them, from what I understand. In fact, I'm going to go down here to see the background. So, of course, it's a hypothetical scenario, and of course, yes, Milosevic is in power. This is actually a president that Bill Clinton went to war with in the past, but we don't have that scenario. We do have the new one. Let's take a look here. Grenada sounds cool, says Pixel. I think so, too. I think we could try Grenada out and see what it's like. There's also Desert Storm China version, which I think is just really cool. It's a hypothetical Desert Storm, but with China invading instead of the U.S. So what about we try Grenada, guys, 1983, and of course we'll play as the Marines, the Americans. I'm going to go ahead and select Grenada and Cuba as the defenders here. So let's hope we do well. This is a bit of an intimidating scenario because we have to bring in units from off the map. So this scenario was first created under an earlier version of the Operational Art of War, and the reason that they give us these warnings is to let us know that basically this particular iteration of the scenario was in the older version of the game, and I'm glad, because quite a lot of the really good scenarios are in the older version of the game, and I'm glad they kept them. So here we go, guys. We are, of course, starting. Operation Urgent Fury commences, and U.S. Army commanders express concern about lack of recon. Yeah, we don't have much reconnaissance. I'd love to take the airport over here. That's, of course, the flag of Grenada. I'm going to go ahead and take these guys. I believe I can fly over with them. I might have to board helicopters, so let's see. Let's board helicopters. Yep. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and start dropping our boys off. Disembark. Oh, we've got to be careful. We already see some Grenadan? Is it Grenadan or Grenadan? I think it's Grenadan. Defenses here. We're going to board helicopters here as well. And, of course, these are our JSOC Ranger teams, guys. You know what they say about the Rangers. Now, another thing we should keep in mind is in the actual invasion of Grenada, less than 500 people were killed. So we need to try to match those numbers. We don't want a bunch of our people getting killed here. Now, this is actually air and naval support, this particular unit right here. It's an interdictory unit, so it's going to be very, very helpful. Let's board some helicopters, and I'm going to try to stop right in Grenville here. Disembark. It'd be wonderful if we could just take the east side of the island, and I think we are. Wonderful. Give me 1 second, guys. We might have to switch out the mouse. We've got another one. We've got a replacement, but I much prefer this one. Come on, mouse. Don't fail me now. Alright, there we go. So we're going to keep on dropping these much larger units, the JSOC Rangers. I guess we'll go ahead and we'll board an aircraft in this case. I've never boarded an aircraft, so I hope we can still drop into the city or into the country. So I'm going to drop them here at Grand Mal Bay, quite a ways out. So, ooh, wow, look at that. That's really cool. We'll actually move one of these units over here to the government house. So hopefully we can take the government house almost immediately. No, it doesn't look like any of them have any movement points, unfortunately. What about these guys? Let's move. There we go. Grenville is under our control. I think this is an air and naval support unit. We're not going to do anything with him. What about the JSOC Rangers? Oh, yeah. And I think I want to try to bring them close to the government house, but I think the farthest they can get is probably right there. And it's actually our HQ division, so that's good that they've actually dropped off. We need them. And we've got some more support here, air and naval support. I mean, the amount of support, VA-87s, is incredible here. This is going to pulverize the enemy, honestly, if we get into contact with them. So those guys are just support units. Over here we've got some Marines. Good old Marine Corps. In this case, I am going to get the entire group to board the ship. And we're actually going to do an amphibious assault if we can. Right here. Let's see if these guys can help. No, we're going to have to wait a turn before they can help. So I'm going to let them cool down a bit, and then we'll decide what to do with them. This is, of course, the air naval support. We can keep it right here. No need to move it up. Okay, guys, that's basically all we've got to start with. Let's see how it goes, as they say. I will attack this area, and it looks like we actually wiped out the anti-aircraft units in that area really easily. So let's see if we can't take over the eastern part of the island. What about here? Plan an attack. We've also got those attack hinds. Let's bring them in. Now, right now, the chances of, or the losses are going to be impossible to predict. So we're taking a real risk here with our JSOC Rangers. I hope that they're up to the challenge. And, of course, we're going to get some support from our own helicopters here. Let's hope this goes well. We're going to end the turn, guys. Wish us luck. Nice. Good work, boys. We're moving in. Saltaires is ours. And beautiful. Look at that. We had no friendly losses at all. You can actually see the specifics of the fight here. Get a more detailed view over here in the combat chart. We actually cover this in our combat tutorial. And, of course, let's take a look at the Cubans and Grenadians. And, yeah, they were completely destroyed. Nothing left there, really. Maybe a recoilless rifle and a Vasilyesk. As you can see, they do have a few Russian-style weapons. But that's about it. Okay, it's going to be Grenada and Cuba's turn. Oh boy, now we're getting some air interdiction, which is good, but they're surrounding our Marines right now. Keep it up, boys. Our air support is pretty strong, it seems. Okay, not bad. So actually, one of our bombardments succeeded. Looks like an Air Navy support bombardment with a V-87 and HMM-261 and a JSOC Ranger SEAL Team 6 and a SEAL Team 6. They also attacked. Wow. And yeah, pretty even. We really didn't kill much, but there's not much left to kill, to be fair. So first things first, theater operations. Cool. Okay, guys. Operation Urgent Fury commences. We already read that. U.S. Army commanders express concern about lack of recon. Saltaires has been reduced to ruins. So we unfortunately reduced this city to ruins. Probably the fault of the helicopters, I must say. And the media requests better access to U.S. forces. And that's what I love about the scenarios in this game, how people can write in their own sort of stories about how the game's going to go and how it's going to affect your forces. For instance, maybe since the media doesn't trust us as much, something's going to happen. You know, we won't get as many forces to support the attack or just something. You never really know. So I'm going to go ahead and just do single unit moves because I want to make sure that that HQ is still supporting us. And in the meantime, I want to see if I can disembark these Marines. In fact, I think I want to attack this way. Here we go. Good work, boys. And now we've got 2 units of Marines, and we can attack this area right here, which happens to have an enemy HQ right there, guys. That is the Grenadian PRM. I'm not sure what PRM stands for. Now, the scary part is we're not getting any air support for this attack. which I think we should. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to abort this mission. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in these choppers. This might not be the greatest idea in the world. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, never mind. I thought it was going to be an infantry squad, but it definitely is not. Although we're still unloading these choppers. So let's see if we can actually get these guys to assist in this attack. 1, 2. Likelihood of success is poor. I feel like we have to take the risk anyway because this is an HQ. What do you guys think? Should we attack the HQ or should we wait? We've got to get people's opinion. Ah, People's Revolutionary Militia. Thanks, Dave. Interesting. 65 viewers. Wow, guys, what's going on? And hello to everybody on YouTube as well, man. This is great. We've got 16 people watching on YouTube. My goodness. Hello, YouTube viewers. Sorry we're not watching you guys right now. Most of us we're watching here on Twitch. But actually, let me open up the YouTube menu here. I think we'll just do it another time. We should definitely try to incorporate both of you guys, because I know you're both trying to chat. Nice. So should we attack, guys? Yes. Zach is saying yes. So yeah, guys, we're right now trying to get an agreement on who we're going to attack. I don't know if we should go through with it. I mean, the chances are poor, but I think it's worth it. I'm going to go for it. Let's hope for the best. And as for these guys right here, I don't like being on a beach with no support, but I'm not sure that these guys alone can really do much. Impossible to predict. Impossible to predict. Impossible to predict. We're going to have to rely on the combat experience of these units. We might be moving a little too fast. I hope not. Why is this area worth 840? Is that possible? That can't be right. Okay. I think we're going to end the turn here. Oh, maybe we can go ahead and plan an attack with these. Nope. Unfortunately, they're not going to attack. All right. Let's end the turn, and let's hope for the best against that HQ, guys. We've got to make sure that the People's Revolutionary Militia is destroyed. End the turn. Oh, I don't think we won. Oh, yes, we did. Well, we definitely got them out of the town of Port Saline. So the Marines did manage to do pretty well, and right there, we managed to do really well as well. Look at that. Okay, guys, so we had 2% losses. Of course, we've got to lower some flags for the men we lost because, you know, we finally were hit by the enemy. It looks like they managed to take out one of our assault squads. But in terms of what we hit on the enemy, actually we didn't do too much damage to them. They basically just retreated immediately. So probably trying to avoid being killed or captured, especially since that's an HQ unit. That kind of makes sense to me. So I'm going to keep moving with these guys, although they might be out of any movements until the end of our turn. And I think that's the case with these guys as well, and maybe even these guys. We might be able to attack the security area. Unfortunately, our helos are trapped in another battle right now, so they're not going to really be of much use to us in this situation. I think we'll go ahead and end the turn. Okay, back to us. Turn 3. And we have some reinforcements as well. Beautiful. Looks like some engineers, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, here we go, guys. U.S. Army commanders expressed concern, blah, blah, blah. Port Saline has been reduced to ruins. We captured it. Students at the True Blue campus rescued. Let's see, students at True Blue campus rescued. Other groups of students reported at GA and LAE. Students at Grand Anse campus rescued. And Cuban forces at Port Saline's airfield surrender. So that's actually a pretty big loss for the enemy. Of course, we're still moving through the country. Let's hope we can actually make it to victory. Looks like most of them are actually trapped sort of in the center of the island. We have to take the capital of St. George. What unit is this? Grand Anse camp? I guess that's interesting. Okay. I'm not going to argue with it. There we go. Nice. Wiped out the HQ unit, guys. That's got to help us a bit. Probability of success is poor here, but we've done the same thing before and it's worked, so I'm going for it. And I think I'm going to try to cut off the enemy HQ. Let's go ahead. Oh, we can't attack. No, we definitely can't attack this turn. That's too bad. We can attack with these guys, and look at that. Wow, the JSOC Rangers immediately stopped the movement of the enemy, and now we're on the highway stopping any government forces from leaving here. We are not letting them go. And what's this? Some Marines? Oh my goodness, guys. Today's our lucky day. Let's go ahead and board the ship, every single one of us. And let's land in Grand Mal Bay here. So we've got tanks now. This should be useful, and St. George's is ours. Beautiful. I think I'm going to go actually and try to attack this guy. Sure enough, the government house is now ours as well. And let's see if we can't move some of these guys forward. The tank is pretty much doing, putting in its own work, as it were. Let's see if we can maybe add those guys to the attack. I doubt it. Yeah, they're definitely not ready for a fight right now. Although we do have this support helo. And this is, I think these are just irregulars. Let's take a look. They are Grenadier. Oh no, they are PRM militia. So they are, you know, they are militia units, but they are PRM. So we know that they're going to be a little tougher than just the regular government forces. Okay, we'll end the turn. There we go. They're moving to Cavigny. And I think actually right now we technically already win, if I'm not mistaken. We should have taken Perlis Airport. That's probably the only mistake we made. And I'm going to actually see if the HQ can move up there. Nice. Perlis is ours. And now we basically control this entire area, really. What else to do? What else to do? I think for now we just wait. There's not much moving we can do. Although we could attack here at Cavigny. Why not? Man, it is a massacre right now. Okay, we're going to end the turn. Okay, it's now officially Granada's turn. And it looks like they're making a massive defensive attempt here. Let's see what happens. Ooh, what's that security division? Okay. Governor General Sir Paul Scone rescued. So we actually rescued a Governor General. Mental hospital hit by U.S. planes. Patients killed. And as you can see, that's actually going to cost us victory points because we hit a hospital. Processing of Cuban prisoners of war bogs down U.S. troops, and special forces units are withdrawn. That's not good news. So I think we lose the Rangers, if I'm not mistaken. I guess Rangers aren't technically special forces. We still have them here. But any SEALs or anything like that, you know, we've lost them. Who is this guy? So this is the CDF. Apparently, this must be the new government organization that's working with us. Or it's the CPF, sorry, OECS Security. I'm not sure if that's like some sort of government entity or if it's like a mercenary squad. Could be either, I'm guessing. Barbados Platoon, the CPF. Interesting. Let's move these guys forward. Start attacking the rest of the enemy wherever we spot them. It looks... okay, don't see why we can't attack there, but we'll find out soon enough. We might have to wait a turn. And there's a massive stack of enemy troops here. Look at that. Success is poor. Success is poor. Well, I've seen worse odds. And maybe we can add to the attack now. Let's see. Yeah, let's stop. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and wait to deal with them next turn when we get some fuel and everybody's ready to do some combat. Let's end the turn here. Oh, massive interdictory fire there by our bombers. My goodness, that's not going to look good for the media. We were just totally bombing their last strong point here. Okay, I'm not even sure we need to bring in the reinforcements, to be honest with you. Students at Lanzhoupen's campus rescued, 1 victory points. Media demands more access to U.S. forces, -4 victory points. And Cuban prisoners of war are secured at this point, so we don't have to worry about them anymore. Let's move up here a bit. Interesting stuff here. No, Guam is not a ship, but that is a funny question. It's just an island essentially. Let's see what we want to do. So it looks like we can't move into St. David's yet. Well, we could move into with this force, but I'd actually rather hit the enemy security forces first. So let's... Alright, we've got a few more attackers now, guys. Now we might be able to take down St. David's. We've got tanks. Oh yeah, probability of success is excellent. I like this. I'm even going to bring in some support helicopters here. Just to really destroy this place. And why not? We'll bring over the rest of the guys. Let's board some choppers. And we will disembark. I almost hit disband there for a second. Okay, let's end the turn, guys. Hope for the best. I think we're doing really well so far. This is probably going to be a victory. Still massive interdictory fire right there. And it's ours. There we go. Sure enough. Look at the enemy lost 75% of their forces here. So we can actually go ahead and take a look at those forces. They didn't have much to start with, but that's still a huge loss on their side, considering that they didn't really have much of a navy. So looks like they're making their last hold at St. David's. We're, of course, going to attack. We've now destroyed them, and I believe we win. We could take Goab back, but we'll have to wait and see. For any of you guys that have played like old-school pirate games, you know, from the 90s or something like that, you should remember the port of Goab. This used to be quite the port for trading, etc. You know, pirates used to come here, etc. So I'm surprised if not everybody knows that name. Let's see. Move up some security forces. All right, let's end the turn. I think that's a victory, guys. I think that's GG. Should have put a bet on this one. There we go. Yes, nice. Look at that, guys. U.S. OECS victory. Operation Urgent Fury is a spectacular success, achieving all its objectives in a lightning-quick fashion. Through media coverage beams the impressive American performance around the world, giving Havana and Moscow serious pause when considering new Third World ventures. And, of course, this is talking about the Cold War, because, well, in this particular battle, that's where we are. GG, man. That was fun. It was long, says Tescure. Believe it or not, that was only about 30 minutes, and most of the scenarios in this game are much longer. Of course, you can always find smaller ones like this. So now, guys, we need to play a new game. I want you guys to decide. Maybe Muso can put together a chart of, like, World War II, World War I, modern, Middle Eastern modern, and, I don't know, Asian modern, something like that. Maybe we can vote on that. But there's a lot of great choices just in this particular folder. I really like this one. This is the Modern MISC folder. Got a lot of modern Middle East ones here. There's a lot of Israel against Egypt and Israel against other neighboring states. That could be pretty good. 73 viewers, my goodness. Muso, can you believe this? This is pretty cool, man. 73 viewers, absolutely amazing. So, really good job, guys. Hungary, Romania 2000, that sounds like fun. Let's do Modern Eastern, maybe. There's so many different suggestions. Fight against Pericotari. There's tons of... We can even play the Turkish invasion of Cyprus. We can play as Cyprus, try to fight off the Turkish invasion. That's a really hard one, but there's a lot of options. Vietnam, says Gandalf. That's always a fun one. Vietnam's always a fun sort of thing. Ooh, developer in the house. Good to see that. Awesome. Vote for Zimbabwe 2003. I always like to do a game where I get to play as an African dictator. It's one of my favorite things to do. Oh, it is so fun. I might do that one. Let's see. Alright, let's click here. And... ooh, interesting. We got a lot of modern Asia votes, which is kind of cool. Wow, this is like I love the people that view our channel, because right now the votes are very, very mixed. You know, 3 for just about everything. So everybody has their kind of own opinion. And now World War II is in the lead. Wow. Modern Asia is winning steadily. A Modern Western is now up with Modern Asia. This is a real poll now. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Keep it up. Keep up the votes. While you guys are looking at that page, I'll be right back. Okay, let's refresh these results. Sorry guys, I had to get some aqua frizzante, as we call it here. It's basically just seltzer water. Okay. Alright, not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh results. And Modern Western. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So let's take a look here. I guess Modern Western is more or less the folder we're in. Give me a second here, guys. I'm going to put in the other mouse. We'll give this one more try, because the zoom capabilities on this one are much better. But it's just kind of a little finicky. Come on, mouse. You can do it. You can work. Alright. Third time's the charm. Milan, Italy. Okay, so let's see. So it looks like most people want a modern... is it Modern East, I believe? Modern Western, that's right. So Modern Western, I guess the closest thing to Modern Western would be Modern Misc. So I'm going to go ahead and play one of these scenarios. Let's go for Yugoslavia 99. So we're going to play as the NATO forces in a hypothetical war. Now, NATO did invade Yugoslavia, I think it was 1994, if I'm not mistaken. This is different. You know, in this case, it's a hypothetical situation, and we're going to be playing as the NATO forces. So here we go, guys. Wish us luck, and let's hope that we can take Yugoslavia back from the evil Milosevic. And actually, a lot of Serbian people think Milosevic is a great guy, so I can't really say one way or another how I feel about him. We try to remain non-political, but you know, on such a game involving so many politics, really, it's kind of hard not to say some things about basically the situations around the world. Look at that. NATO military forces begin invasion of Yugoslavia. Beautiful. So we've got this tiny area, this tiny starting area here. It's really not that impressive. I guess we have to move out from here. It's the only way out, and I think it's because there's probably a bridge. Let's go ahead and move. Get the HQ right there. Eagle Force? What's that? Alright, so we're just going to basically smash through this guy and take the first village here. We've got a ton of air support. Look at that air support on the right side, guys. NATO air support, of course. Probability of success is very poor. Wow. Really? Really? Still very poor? What kind of weapons do these Serbs have? This is incredible. Let's see if the bombers help at all. Oh my goodness, look at this. We're not really increasing anything. I mean, our attack power is ridiculous right now. I almost don't want to trust what the numbers say. I'm going to go for it. I'm going for it. I know it might be crazy, but let's see what happens. I believe we also might have some forces down here. Yeah, we definitely do. This is a pretty big scenario. In fact, I'll zoom out so you guys can see the scale here. It's a massive one. And of course, you know, Yugoslavia, or what is modern-day Bosnia, Serbia, etc., is a very mountainous region. So actually breaking through these areas is not going to be easy. And it looks like these Serbs can really fight. I mean, they are not giving up at all easily. I'm going to go ahead and send some more forces there to support them. Alright, this should be better. Come on. Still very poor. You guys seeing this? This is kind of weird. Can't be that bad, can it? Are our men that badly trained? Is that how bad NATO forces are? Well, that's just crazy. Wow, did they actually shoot down one stealth fighter during the war? That's amazing. Did the crew survive? I think we're going to have to wait. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to go ahead and abort. They are really tough. I'm surprised. We also have some, it looks like probably KLA forces. So these are probably Kosovo forces, if I'm not mistaken, that are helping us fight the enemy here. But unfortunately, the Kosovo forces don't exactly have the greatest experience in the world. That's pretty clear. So let's go ahead. See what the Kosovo forces can do. Maybe they fight better than we do. Impossible to predict. That's better than bad. So let's take it. And we're going to go ahead and try to attack, guys. Wish us the best of luck. Okay. Could actually bring these guys up as well. So we can't go into the mountains as far as I can see. Just stay on the roads. That is a bummer. Alright, let's go ahead and attack again here. Add some more units to this attack. We're even going to send the HQ in. Still very poor. We're still going for it. There's just one anti-tank unit here. Well, I think there's probably more than one anti-tank unit. One anti-tank unit and looks like an infantry unit, perhaps. And what's this? Could these be Kosovo forces? RHA? I'm not sure what RHA is, but we're going to use them. Not the best place to have our HQs. Oh my goodness, we had one of the enemy aircraft actually bomb us. We haven't had that happen in a while. Interdictory fire, so these enemies are prepared. Okay, here we go, guys. We're going to try to attack with the RHA forces here. Very poor, very poor. So we need to really hope that this works, because right now I'm taking a large gamble attacking these enemies with not very good stats, to be honest. There should be some error. Somebody's saying... that should be Macedonia, he says. Interesting. Albanian Macedonians. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all we can do for now. We're basically only entering the country from those 2 locations. We've also got some units here. Not sure what they are exactly. 1st Brigade group. They might just be normal NATO troops. Let's go ahead. Group move. Oh, interdictory fire on our HQ. Kumanovo. Come on, boys. You can do this. We need some heroes in this battle. Right now, Milosevic is sitting pretty. He really is. Now, I think in this scenario, if I'm not mistaken, we eventually start getting a lot of support. Like actual air support. But that takes a while to sort of parse itself out. Let's go ahead. Come on, boys. Everybody's going into this fight. Don't be afraid. Alright. Yeah, that actually, those bombers are already going in. Let's put these guys in as well. NATO 101st Air Wing. And I'm just going to trust my gut. Which is often wrong. So, keep that in mind. Can we move these guys, I wonder? I don't think so. No. Okay, so we have men over here. We could start moving to the west. Actually, I think this area might be off limits for this scenario. Yeah, it is. Definitely. So let's actually move these units closer to the front. And at this point, the front is just about everywhere, to be honest with you. Yeah, why not? Get our vehicles a bit closer, and hopefully that HQ is going to bring them the supplies they need to succeed here. Just looking around, seeing if we're missing anything. Yeah, we've got a few forces over here that could move forward. Is that Gorazd? I think that could be Gorazd. There's a really great graphic novel called Safe Area Gorazd, all about the war. Maybe that is Gorazd. Now, I know we shouldn't be attacking on a river tile, so I'm definitely going to try to move these guys past that river tile. And let's see if we can actually take these guys out right here. Uzuce Brigade. That sounds pretty mean. Uzuce Brigade. Likelihood of success is very poor. Believe in yourselves, boys. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Currently, that last one cannot attack. We're about to find out what it's like to invade this country. But our chances are not looking great, I'll be honest with you. This is actually one of the tougher scenarios I've played. Oh, interdictory fire. Why must it be so devastating? I think I'll just move these guys in and actually dig in. So that's an enemy tank unit. Let's attack. And again, part of this, guys, is just a little bit of experimentation, trying out new things to see how they go or don't. All right. Let's see what happens. So here we go. We're going to end the turn and hope for the best. And of course, they hit us again with another airstrike. Oh, another airstrike. They might actually have better air superiority than us. Actually, ours is 13, theirs is 9. And 9 is still really good. Man, look at that. Oh, they were bombing us all over the place. There we go. That's actually our militia forces attacking. believe they are the Kosovo forces. Okay, we actually managed to push them back in one area. That's it. Everything else pretty much looks like it remains in their firm grasp. Alright, nice. Some interdictory fire over there on the right side. And look at that. That's where Belgrade is. Just to get to Belgrade, we've got so much to cross. Luckily, once we get out of this mountain range, we're going to be able to attack over open ground. But there's so many towns here where the enemy could be hiding. This is a nightmare of a war. So here we go. Friendly loss. It looks like overall, battlefield possession actually stayed in our hands. So it was good that I attacked and took those risks. But we did lose men on the attack. It's not like we went in there and didn't take any hits. That's what we took. That's what the enemy took. So we destroyed a bunch of enemy recoilless rifles. Didn't destroy any of their 100mm AT guns. I wish we had. But we killed some AT-3s, which of course can definitely take out a tank. And even some SA-14s, SAMs, etc. A bunch of trucks. Hey, that's a good start. You know, we can take that. Let's take a look at another battle where it didn't go so well for us over here. We completely got wiped out on the assault. And as you can see here, a lot of men died. Assault AT teams, military police squads, etc. A lot of guys got wiped out on those attacks. So I think we have to keep being aggressive, but at the same time, we have to be a little more measured. And I don't know how we're going to do that. Now, this is the area we won at, so I think we should try to exploit this area as much as possible. Keep pushing if we can. Of course, we're still technically in combat, so we might have to wait a turn or two before we attack. Let's see. Pretty sure we're gonna have to wait a turn. Yeah, success is very poor. This particular scenario, I don't know if I'm wrong. I could be. I feel like this one has a tiny bug, just because I feel like our chances should be a lot higher. I could be wrong, but I feel like our chances on this scenario are just a little strange, like strangely low, despite the fact that we're actually doing pretty well. So I'm not sure, but I'll let you guys decide. Maybe the scenario is just meant to be really, really tough. Okay, these guys are not going to be able to attack this turn. We're going to end the turn. That's what we're going to do. End the turn. Another enemy airstrike, of course. Okay, once again, this time it was a lot more even, the fighting, but we managed to actually push the enemy back once again. So there we go, destroyed a lot of enemy units, including some artillery guns, and even a MiG-21 fish bed, as well as a MiG-29 Fulcrum. So we actually got a few kills on their Air Force. And believe it or not, they've got a good Air Force. Their Air Force is really, really good, actually. So now it's their turn, the Yugoslav turn. I can't wait to see what they're going to do here. Looks like we're going to get some air interdiction. That's great. And when it says theirs, of course, this is their turn, so it's actually referring to ours. Our air superiority is 20 to 1. So hopefully here, just like in the Gulf War scenario, we get a tremendous amount of hits on the enemy and knock them out that way. And actually, in the real war on Slobodan Milosevic, the Americans used a tremendous amount of precision bombing to really clear the area. Because, believe it or not, the Serbs were pretty well armed. Also very good fighters, and, some modern tanks, modern Air Force to a degree. So it wasn't an easy war, to say the least. At least not the planning phase, I don't think. Yeah, keep hitting them, boys. look at that, man. That is a beautiful bombing run. So hopefully this is going to really damage the enemy. Although you never know, a lot of the times the bombs will miss. You know, I would say most of the bombs miss. You know, maybe only 1 in 10 or 1 in 8 really manages to hit the target. But this is definitely helpful. This has got to help us. And as you can see, a lot of them are leaving the main capital, and they're moving down to the border to probably try and fight us. So I hope that our Air Force really lets them have it. Take a look here. So in this case, Strategist, what that means, since it's actually the Yugoslav turn right now, ours actually refers to theirs. In other words, it refers to the Yugoslav Air Force. Theirs refers to ours in this case. You're going to see when it becomes our turn, it's gonna flip. Because this is, of course, from the perspective of the Yugoslavs. They actually seem to be surrounding us in a few key areas here. And I wonder what those red units are. We've got to take a look at that. Could be Russian units, believe it or not. The Yugoslavs definitely closing up to the Russians, especially the Serbs. So we could see some Russian assistance in this war. You can see how easy it is during a war to get civilian casualties. When you've got this many bombardments going on at once, you're bound to accidentally hit something you don't want to. As you can see, we're hitting Birjan a few times. A lot of those bombs are missing the enemy completely and just hitting the houses, basically. We're hitting a lot of roads, so anybody driving down this road is in serious trouble. You could just see how devastating a war really is. So as you can see on our loss, 27, enemy 72, it looks like we lost a lot of planes. We may have lost a lot of planes due to missile fire, etc. I mean, we definitely carried out the attacks, but I think we're going to end up actually losing a lot of planes in these attacks. Oh, now we're hitting Belgrade properly. Man, that is massive bombing. My goodness, I am amazed. I am amazed. I think this particular campaign had more bombs than the Gulf War one did so far. I mean, it's been 4 minutes of continuous bombing, which in game time translates to so much. It just looks like we're really letting them have it here. I hope it pays off, and I hope it makes our attacks a lot easier to complete. But these jet bombers are definitely helping us to win this particular scenario. I think if we keep getting support like this, we will win. Just because we'll wipe out the enemy with our Air Force entirely. We won't even have to do any ground fighting, or very little anyway. But we'll have to see if it keeps up. You never know. If that's all we had to give, who knows? And actually, post-bombing, you might be surprised at how little damage we've done. When you see that many bombs dropped, you expect a tremendous amount of damage. That's not always the case. You can also see here the enemy has pushed us back from the town of Gasu, and actually managed to push us across the river once again. We are hitting the town very heavily now, but that's definitely not looking good for us. Another run, boys? Why not? Go ahead. Keep at it. See, they've got a lot of defenses around Belgrade. Maybe they're starting to realize that that could be threatened if we break through all these other sort of defensive points that they have. Alright, they're also attacking our, what I believe to be our Kosovoan HQ. And there we go. So, we destroyed a lot of enemy airfields here. That's good. Well, we at least damaged them. So, 16% damage there to the airfield. It looks like loss report. Oh, we were the ones defending, actually. So, they managed to take out one of our strato fortresses and a lancer. But we destroyed none of their Galeb. So, that was actually totally a Yugoslav victory. Let's see. Yes, this is all friendly loss. So, actually, the enemy loss refers to us. Now, these are, of course, actual battles that occurred. Here we managed to defend ourselves pretty well against the enemy, but overall, they definitely managed to counterattack effectively. Very effectively. Okay, a few reinforcements. Nice. Okay, so here we go. This is what I was telling you in the last stream about refugees. In this case, refugees are going to be a part of the battle. Refugees clog the roads in Kosovo, and Russia commits air units to the defense of Yugoslavia. So now the Russians are helping the Yugoslavs to fight us. I'm going to go ahead and start moving some units forward over here, if I can, because we definitely need to take on that area, or the enemy in this area. Hopefully get a good attack. Okay, probability of success is fair. And now probability of success is good. Let's also bring in some of these. Look at this, Italian bombers. Grazie Italia. So we've got some Italian bombers right there. They're, of course, part of NATO. We're going to have them assist us in this attack here. We really want to just try and basically loosen up some of the enemy forces here. And over here near Bijeljina, which seems like a Yugoslav version of Berlin, just the way it sounds. And here, probability is excellent. Once again, now we're fighting a lot better against the enemy. The bombardments absolutely soften them up. We can see a tremendous difference in their defensive capabilities. So we want to keep on moving. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see if we can take Dagovica sooner rather than later. But actually, a lot of our units here are pretty weak, believe it or not. So let's see if we can plan an attack here. Okay, nice. Probability of success is good. We'll bring in one of these bombers as well. Let's take a look here. No problem, Agrippa, says Musso. Yes, the Italians are helping. We'll group move up as well here. And let's see. Maybe, now that we've loosened the enemy up, we can attack with these militia units and be successful. I doubt it. But it's good to try. No, it's not. Let's abort that. That's not happening. Very bad idea. Those guys are not ready for any sort of combat, really. Alright, let's take these guys. Maybe now if we add these guys to the fight, we'll do better. Let's see. I mean, there's an enemy HQ unit here, so I can kind of see why we wouldn't necessarily do so well, but I'm going to bring in some support. I feel like we can make it work. Now, the cooperation, as you can see, cooperation has dropped significantly to 67. It's usually at 99, and the reason this is, basically, if you have a lot of units from different countries or units from different, you know, branches of the military, things like this, cooperation can suffer. This is some of the worst cooperation I've seen, and it makes sense because a lot of these militia units, they don't know how to call in airstrikes. You know, they don't necessarily even speak English. So we've got a bunch of these units trying to ask them where to bomb, and they can't really tell them. That being said, we don't have much of a choice. We need to attack. The same is true over here. So I'm actually going to move these guys forward if the game lets me. Come on, game. You can do it. Let's go ahead and basically move them up here. Actually, I'm going to attack the enemy HQ. Nah. So indecisive with these battles. I'm like, well, I want to attack the enemy HQ, but I also kind of want to help our guys out. What's the right thing to do? Alright, let's attack here. And actually, I'm just going to do all units attack. Ignore losses. I'm going to do the same here. We're really going to just go crazy. Here we'll plan an attack, because these guys have actually been doing pretty well. Not all of the units are capable of attacking, unfortunately. There we go. Still very poor. I find that hard to believe. I'm going forward with the attack. We've had attacks before where it said it was poor, and we still managed to defeat the enemy. So I'm going to trust that our men can break through here. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Well, we can certainly move our U.S. units forward. So let's do that. Let's at least try to get them as much forward as we can. As much forward as we can. English, Agrippa. I've been here in Italy way too long. Here we go. Move. Okay, here we go. Also some mech brigades. We definitely want to get these guys up. So we've got a nice chunk of a U.S. force here, and I think the goal is going to be to basically take Dagofica. If we can actually take that area, we're going to be in a pretty good position. That being said, I'm not sure how we're going to get... let's actually deploy mobile. Let's try this. So I'm hoping what this is going to do is allow our units to cross these mountains, because right now it doesn't look like we can get there, at least not easily. Yeah, no, it's definitely not an easy place to get to, so let's group move. And as you can see, we can't even launch an attack there. What about this guy? We're going to move this guy behind enemy lines. Try to take some villages back. Could move these guys up as well. I think I'm going to try that. Then again... Yeah, let's move the HQ up there. I don't know what this is. This is a Skopje garrison, so we're going to just keep... And this is Macedonia. Yeah, right here. So the Skopje garrison is going to stay put. So these are Macedonian troops. Why would that make success very poor? So this guy would actually make our success a little worse. Let's go ahead and the turn and hope for the best, guys. Here we go against the tyrannical Slobodan Milosevic. Alright, we got a victory there, but now we've overstretched our forces a bit on this road, which leaves us a bit open to some possible ambushes. Okay. So 60% of our turn remains. That's a nice chunk of time, honestly. Still a lot we could do here. Let's see. Okay, wow. We did incredible attacks. Look at this, guys. Look at this attack right here. These were extremely effective. So we destroyed a number of assault squads. We destroyed some BOV-30 Spogs. Looks like these were some interesting looking vehicles. Even an armored engineer vehicle, as well as some M60 APCs. These were all very, very successful attacks for the most part with minimal losses. We've got to keep doing that. So we've been doing very well here. Look at that. Look at that. Ton of enemy units, Spogs, wheeled 37mm Spogs, recoilless rifles. Just excellent. We've got to keep this up. So I think to break through to Dagovica, we are going to have to destroy the units ahead of us right here. But as you can see, we can't move in a lot of these areas. So we actually might need to move through Kukis, I think, and move through these towns. We can't move through the actual hills. They're just too high up. Our men don't have the necessary gear to even get up there. Let's move these guys forward. Now they've got some American support. And unfortunately, the Americans cannot support them in this attack. So that's not going to be useful. Well, we could try to plan an attack against this tiny unit. There we go. And actually, we'll bring the militia in for this, so they can get a few kills themselves. And let's see what our Macedonians can do. They're tough, but there's not many of them. There we go. Nice. Raqqa. That's not the Raqqa you're thinking of, though. Group move. And let's plan an attack with our Macedonian friends. They did really well last turn. Maybe they can relive those expectations. It's poor. It's good. Nice. We got that success to good pretty quickly. Plan an attack right here. And again, my goal is just to wipe out any units that could ambush us later. And moving through this particular country is very difficult. It's actually worse than Chechnya in terms of movement because there's so many hills, so many mountains. As you can see here, the chances of success are very poor. So I'm going to try to bring in a lot of bombers to assist. A few attack planes, even some missiles, why not? Send them all in. Over here, we've got some units we could probably move. I'm not sure. No, that's not going to be a successful attack. As you can see, there's a big stack of enemy units here. Why can't we take these guys? There we go. Success is poor, but I'm going for it. We've done it before. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Nice. We had a victory there. So we're slowly getting the enemy out of that particular area. That's probably going to be our breakthrough point. We're going to need another round of heavy bombing to make it a success. And look at that. Our Macedonians have broken through. They might be able to take Prizren. No pun intended. If they can take that area, that would be great. I think they're about to move into Raqqa. So let's see what happens. That's the end of the turn. And look at that. Very effective NATO attacks, guys. Look at that. Land attacks over here. All over the place. We are managing to do serious damage to the Yugoslavs. So this is looking pretty good for us so far. Look at this, 100% destruction here. Let's take a look. I don't think the enemy had much, but we destroyed everything here. Every single one of their vehicles in that army was just completely obliterated. Now, of course, it's going to be the Yugoslav turn, and hopefully we get a lot of supporting bombing fire here, because we need it badly. Here we go. Keep it up, boys. God bless the U.S. Air Force. Actually, it's a bunch of NATO countries, so God bless all the NATO countries. How about that? We've got Italians here. We've got Spanish. We've got Portuguese. We've got British. We've got American. We've got a ton of different pilots. But most of the ground forces on the west are American ground forces. Love the smell of napalm in the morning. Actually, napalm, pretty sure, was not used even in the 1994 invasion of Yugoslavia, or was it 96? I'm pretty sure napalm was not allowed. Alright, they're trying to escape on those roads, but they're not having much success. See what's going on over here in the CET. The CET. Yeah, unfortunately the Steam crowd are not overly fond of wargaming. That is true. Thanks, Cable. We really appreciate that. It absolutely helps when people promote our games. But yeah, sometimes it's just not for everybody, unfortunately. Ah, depleted uranium. Good old depleted uranium. That won't have lasting consequences. Looks like we've also got some bombing of our own areas here. This could be enemy bombing, or it could be friendly fire. Of course, right now there's a lot of refugees leaving Kosovo. That's going to make it very hard for our men to move forward because we can't just drive over refugees. We're trying to help them. It's going to make our jobs a lot harder. But hopefully this bombing will make things a little easier for us and a little harder for our Yugoslav friends here. Okay, so a lot of bombardments. Now, we're very lucky here because, well, yes and no. We did manage to get some pretty good attacks, but the enemy bombarded us as well, and didn't manage to do a lot of damage. So over here they did do quite a bit of damage, destroying some Lancers, etc. We actually lost a lot of aircraft in this particular war, so I don't know what's going to happen to our pilots, but probably nothing good. Got some reinforcements there. Let's see what the news says. Oh, no news at the end of this turn. That's a little creepy. So they retook that town. We've got to take it back. Alright, chance of taking is excellent. That's what I'm looking for. And let's go over here to where we've got some allies. That militia. Like I said, I think that's going to be our breakthrough point. What's this? Armored cavalry. Uh-huh. Okay, move forward, boys. Our Macedonians are doing really well right now. Alexander would be proud. Unfortunately, I think they're getting to the point where they might not be able to be very helpful anymore because it's getting pretty nasty out here. There we go. Success is fair. We're also going to send a missile to assist them to try and break out here. And over here, we're going to do the same. Let me move this unit. Group move here. And we're going for the prison. I hope I'm pronouncing those names correctly. Parisian. There we go. Fair. Nice. We're going to be able to take a few units out. I'm even going to send the HQ in. Send the general in on his Jeep with a pistol just firing wildly. Why not? Let's try to wipe these guys out with our American forces. Why can't we select this guy? We should be... Come on. There we go. Alright, our chances of success are poor, but I've had worse. So I'm actually going to bring these guys in, and we probably can add to this attack. Make it a little more effective. There we go. Now it's fair. And now it's good. Just got to keep playing around with it until we get the desired results. We're also going to try to break through here. This is the breakthrough point, guys. This is where we've got to make it through. Come on, boys. Don't let me down. Nice. Send in the HQ Jew. Everybody has to help. Now, believe it or not, we're going to get the support from these guys, but it's actually going to be minimal support. The X doesn't necessarily mean they can't fire. It just means they're not going to be able to use as much of their payload. So here we go, and we've actually got some more units here. Might as well bring them to the powwow, as it were. Oh man, this is crazy. Alright. Alright, as you can see with the support of our friends here, the NATO 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment, as well as the amazing, both NATO 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment, are going to go ahead and assist these troops right here. The 2nd KLA, so once again, I believe the KLA is a pro-Kosovo force in defeating a lot of Serb units here. Let's take a look here at the CET. Oh, very cool, Ralph. That's actually that's a good question. I'll be honest. So that's actually something you can do in the game yourself. So for instance, I'm going to go to View, and if I want, I can actually change the visibility of things, particularly flags. And actually, I usually take the flags. Wait, is it in options? Here it is. It's in options. So place names and possession. I'm going to take. I have flags. That's why you see flags whenever I'm moving. But I can take borders, or I can make it invisible. It's totally up to you. In this case, I took flags because, well, I kind of want to be able to see, you know, what I've been taking, the towns that have been liberated, quote unquote. So that's the reason I do that. Where did you go? There you are, mouse. Thank you. Okay. So movement is going to be tough here. We're going to go to Peck. And actually, Peck looks undefended. We might be able to just walk right in here and take the city over. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's going to be that simple, but you never know. Right now, we've got the advantage, more or less. I think we do. Chance of success is very poor. I'm still going through with it. I think the reason it's poor is because the enemy's got an HQ unit, and they're going to do everything they can to keep that thing alive. Ooh. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. Why not? We'll just lose all of our American forces. Not a big deal, you know. Okay, guys, ending the turn now. Let's hope for the best. Oh boy, we've got enemy aircraft intercepting us. They're really, really hitting the Macedonians very hard. And actually just bombing their cities even. Okay, there's our attack. Nice! That's a victory. And it looks like our friends can claim victory for sure. The KLA won that one. There we go. Those are our Macedonians attacking. And again, I don't think they're going to make it... I don't think they're going to succeed in that eastern attack. There's just a lot of enemy tanks. 70% of our turn remains. Wow. So actually, most of our attacks were successful. Let's take a look over here. It looks like even... this was our Macedonian attack, guys. It's also supported by NATO Lion Force, NATO 4th Armored Brigade, a few mech forces from NATO. So let's take a look here. The Yugoslavs definitely took a heavy hit, but they've got a lot of units here. And we can actually look at our attackers, and as you can see, we took a nasty hit as well. A lot of our engineers being taken out. It looks like they might have some sniper teams focusing on our engineer units, which makes sense, especially in this location. I feel bad for our engineers right now, but we're definitely taking some serious hits. But we're also managing to do some damage to the enemy, some serious damage. Over here, for instance, our American forces, look at that. That is just beautiful. And as for our attackers, we had a few men destroyed, but overall, we're still mobile. Still able to keep on moving forward. Alright, let's go ahead and plan an attack here. I might have to wait a bit. I think I might wait until I do my next attack. On that area, at least. Here, we can still go for it. Now, the AI will mainly handle our reinforcements, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But there's other things we do have to worry about, and that's, of course, movement of our troops, getting them in the right position, keeping the HQs close, etc. So we really want to focus on that for now. At the same time, I want to take Prigyen. I want to see if we can maybe take that this turn. So let's go ahead. I'm going to see if we can break through here. There we go. Chances are excellent. And at the same time, I'm going to try to break through here, so multiple attacks here. Unfortunately, this one is impossible to predict. We're going to call in support, even though it's going to extend the time. I think it's worth it. And we have actually taken one of these Yugoslav towns. Tiny one, but it's something. Look at that. Nice. Forcing them back very quickly. I don't think I'm going to call their bluff. I'll stop there. And let's see what we can do to this unit. Unfortunately, I don't think these forces are going to do very well. I'm not even sure which country these guys come from. They could just be standard NATO forces, but they are trapped here right up against some mountains. So they need all of the support they can get. Let's bring in some support here. Oh, they're not going to like this. Now we can definitely take them out, and that's actually a stack, so they might be able to hold out, believe it or not. Still very poor. We're absolutely taking a risk with this attack. We're even moving our HQs in for it, and our chances are not great, although we're getting very close to the town here that we were trying to take. But it might be better for us to just wait until the next turn. Although these chances are impossible to predict, I think I'm gonna try. We're gonna go for it, guys. We're definitely gonna go for it. Come on, boys. You've done a good job up here so far. But can they carry it up? Can they keep it up, rather? Another thing is I think we desperately need some reinforcements to all these units. Now, that happens at the end of a turn phase. But right now, we can't really wait. We're not in a position of being able to wait, of course. But I think I'm going to end the turn, and it is interesting to see that we do have a few units really close to Belgrade. That's not to say that we are in the lead at all right now, but we've got a lot going for us if we can play this right. But this is definitely one of the tougher scenarios, without a doubt. I would not recommend this for new players at all. Just because of all the mountains, the massive amount of enemy troops, it can get a little bit confusing. So you definitely want to be careful approaching this kind of scenario. Let's see, can we hit these guys? There we go. With the assistance here, our quality of success is good. I want to see what kind of unit that is. That is an MEU SOC. I'm not sure what that stands for. I'm guessing it's some sort of special forces unit. If you guys want to let me know in the chat, please do. MEU SOC. Alright, ending the turn. Best of luck, boys. A lot of great work by the enemy aircraft, and it's because of the Russians joining them. Their interdiction is actually better than ours now, by 2, but I think it's all because of those Russians. They actually are managing to get some really good hits on our units, and on our cities. Thanks, guys. Don't seem to worry much about those war crimes. Nice, look at that. Managed to push them back again, and we're even closer to Prizren now. I wanted the Macedonians to take Prizren, but quite frankly, I don't care who takes it as long as we manage to beat the enemy there. And there we go. Wow, even these units managed to take the enemy out. %20 of our turn remains, boys and girls. Wow, look at that. All of our attacks were successful. All of them. So, once again, we are still doing great, even when it says very poor. So I think that maybe it's very possible that this particular scenario has a tiny little bug, because we should definitely be getting higher chance calculators. We are crushing the enemy. I mean, just look at this. Just look at that. Just destroying them. Okay, let's see. Can we take that town? That would be really cool. Doesn't look like any of these units can move, though. Again, it's coming to the end of our turn, so movement is not necessarily an option. Yeah, a lot of our units are just going to stay put. So I'm going to end the turn. I'm going to turn it over, no pun intended, to the enemy. That's a really good question, I'll be honest. We have an explanation for it on the Matrix YouTube channel, so you can click on my time tutorial and sort of understand. Yes, it is a little bit complex, the time aspect in the Operational Art of War 4, but it's definitely something that you can learn quite easily, and it's really hard to explain. It really is hard to explain. That being said, we're going to end our turn, and it's actually going to be the Yugoslav turn right now. Here we go, guys. Oh boy, airstrikes. Okay, once again, we did pretty well there on the attacks. And it is the turn for Yugoslavia. Let's hope their Air Force can counter the Russian Air Force that's assisting them right now. That's obviously going to make the war a lot more interesting with that Russian Air Force constantly assisting the Yugoslavs. It's not going to make it easy for us. Enemy tanks moving in. I don't see much Air Force activity from our guys. Almost none at all. There we go. No, that's their Air Force, I believe. Actually, that's ours. Okay, we've got a few attacks going on. They seem to be hitting our positions, though. Has there been a coup in our Air Force that supports Slobodan Milosevic? A lot of our bombs are missing, unfortunately. Yeah, we're definitely not as threatening as we were in the second turn. Now it looks like the Serbs are absolutely outgunning us in the skies. And it looks like they're actually entrenching a lot of these units, especially north of that area there in the south. Ooh, nasty hits on the Macedonian HQ. And the enemy absolutely right now has better air interdiction than we do. They're at 3, we're at 0. That's not good, guys. Although so far they're only able to interdict 1% of our forces, but look at that. So that's all bombardments from the Yugoslavs. We'll just take a look as an example here at what that can do to us. It doesn't seem like a lot, but even one Stinger loss to an enemy bombardment is a big deal. Over here, we got an even worse bombardment. We lost a lot of stuff. So let's take a look here. Look at that. We managed to lose a Vulcan Spog, another Stinger. I mean, once again, it doesn't seem like a lot. But when you look at the percentage and you look at the value of the actual, weapon system, yeah, that's serious. You know, that's a big deal. Let's see if we get a news upgrade. Okay, NATO captures Leshnica. Of course, we've seen that. NATO captures Jashinke. Yugoslavia captured Leshnica once again, so they recaptured it. We recaptured it for the 3rd time. It looks like we captured Gorozhop, Kashanich. Russia commits air units to the defense of Yugoslavia. President Yeltsin promises Russian support for Serbia. No! No, Boris Yeltsin, how could you do that to us? You guys remember Boris Yeltsin, right? I hope you're all old enough to remember him. Most of our users are. Interesting. So that would, of course, change the dynamic of the war dramatically. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and save this game because we are coming towards close to the end of our stream. And what I want to do is, a lot of you guys didn't get to see the battles that you were looking for. So a lot of you, for instance, wanted to see World War I battles and World War II battles. So I want to go ahead and show you some of those. So we're going to jump into World War I battles first. And yes, there are absolutely benefits to doing World War I. We've even got pre-World War I. So we've got American Revolution, American Civil War, a lot of cool stuff. But we're going to jump into WW1, and just as an example, we'll go to Gallipoli. In fact, I'd rather show you guys an actual front. So this is the Guns of August is a massive front. We are going to be playing as the Allies here, just to show you guys what the map looks like. And of course, the losses are greatly increased as in comparison to more modern scenarios, which makes sense. Now, if any of you guys are sort of new to the game, you should consider selecting some of these. So for instance, I would override Fog of War so you could see exactly where the enemy is. This way you can just kind of get used to stuff. I would also get rid of mud and snow rules so that you don't get slowed down by mud and snow. But if you want to just jump into the game and, right away, hope for the best, be my guest. By all means, be my guest. Here we go. All right, there we go. Oh, that's World War I for you, all right. Okay, so over here, very fascinating stuff. We see that a tremendous amount of German units here. We're actually playing as the Entente, sorry. At this point, we can start taking over. I do want to carry out one attack just so you guys can see the difference in casualties. If we're able to. Here we go. So success is very poor, of course. This is World War I. Trenches everywhere. We're still going to send more guys in. And a lot of people have been asking for Pearl Harbor, so I might go to World War II and show you guys Pearl Harbor. Let's go ahead and just finish this attack. I want to see how it goes. Come on, men. We definitely did not succeed in taking that area. Okay, here we go. Friendly lost. We lost 35%, or 30%. They only lost 1%. That's what a machine gun will do to a charging army. So look at the difference, guys. Look at that. 136 mounted rifle squads disabled, 391 destroyed. I think you guys are starting to see the difference in the wars. So when you're playing like a more modern war, the casualties are much more calculated. Here, they're just massive. So when you're doing all of World War I, at the end, you've got some incredible casualty counts. And remember, these are squads. These are not individual units. These are actual squads. More than just one guy standing around getting shot. Oh, thank you, I'll be honest. There are no trenches yet. Man, that must have been even crazier. Thank you, Spelk. Spelk, of course, guys, is our champion for our Battlestar Galactica Deadlock tournament, and he totally deserves it. No, that's Sproge. We've got to get we've got to know the difference between Spelk and Sproge, folks. Although I'm a little upset that Sproge didn't make it to the stream. He said he was going to show up. That's too bad. We do want to be able to congratulate him on his incredible victory. I think in the actual finals of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, Sproge and the guy who's playing against, I can't recall, actually managed to play a 4-hour game. Now, of course, a lot of that game was them running away from each other, running toward each other, firing, but it was pretty amazing. I got to see a few seconds of it, and quite fun to watch. Let's move forward here. So at this point, I want to go ahead and show you World War II fans something cool. So we're going to go to, I'm not sure if we want to do Pearl Harbor. I think we probably want to do something where you actually see more units on the field. So let's jump into World War II. We could even do the Eastern Front, but I think we'll stick to the Western Front. Let's do that. So just as an example, we've got, of course, D-Day right here. And this one was actually made by Bob Cross. Bob Cross is one of the creators of the game, and I'm actually a little upset because I was looking at his website today. The guy's got a website. It's a really cool one, all about the Operational Art of War, all of the games. So if we could find it, we would absolutely post it here. Yeah, Market Garden is very fun as well. Let's take a look at Market Garden. A bridge too far, as it were. All right, German computer. So we're just going to take a quick look here, guys. Once again, we get the warning that this scenario was created under an earlier version of the game, which is just fine with us. Here we go. And, ooh, look at that. A lot of fun. Allies strike in Holland. We certainly do. So we're going to try to go ahead and move up here. Sort of do a spearhead against the enemy. You can see even the animations of the planes look different, which I love. The more modern planes have very different looking animations, and here we've got a tremendous amount of air support. Thunderbolts, actually. We're going to bring them all in for this attack. It's not going to be successful, probably just like Operation Market Garden, but we can give you guys an idea of what it's like to play these World War II scenarios. Also, if you look at the attack power there, 30, it's actually very hard to find attack power like that in any other scenarios. So that's another thing about this one. It's really large amounts of attack power against large amounts of defensive power lead to some incredible battles. Here we go. We're going to bring in the rest of the support here. Now, I have to say personally, and this is just me, I don't know if you guys agree, I prefer the more modern battles. And that's primarily because, you know, you can just about play a World War II battle or World War I battle in a lot of different games. Maybe not so much World War I, but I love the modern stuff. The First Chechen War, for instance, the invasion of Grenada we just played, even though it's a small one, it's really, really fun. Let's go ahead and plan an attack here. Come on, lads. Yep. Should be able to select him. There we go. And its extended T-brakes. Indeed. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and just end right there and see what happens, what the casualty count's going to be like. Oh, I think we're definitely managing to push through, at least initially. So you can see here how easily we could get cut off if we keep moving forward. And only 40% of our turn remains, so these turns actually go pretty quickly. And typically before a battle starts, you can actually look to see how much a turn is worth. So sometimes a turn can be a week, sometimes a turn can be half a day, for instance. So we definitely destroyed some enemy equipment, but we took some losses too. It wasn't an easy fight. It's actually pretty, makes quite a lot more sense here in World War II. The fights are, like I said before, a lot more measured than the fights in World War I, where it's just all-out chaos. In World War I, it's just you send in guys and you lose thousands within just a few seconds. There we go. We shall never surrender, whatever the cost may be. Alright, there we go. And I actually want to see what the enemy does on their turn. I'm a bit curious to see that. KG Chill, 85th Recon. Alright, nice. Probability of success there is excellent. And this is the 53rd Welsh Brigade. Very cool. So we've got some actual Welsh soldiers. Really neat. The Welsh, some Scots. Scotland is represented. Wales is represented. It's wonderful. And I think we can actually break through here. Even though the enemy, there's only one enemy unit, there's only one of ours. You can see that our attack power is 29. Our defensive power is 26, so we override them in terms of attack and defensive power. We're going to try to break through. And I'm gonna bring in some air support here, and hopefully we manage to break through. Now, of course, if I were actually playing this scenario, I'd be moving up all the rest of these forces. We've got the 3rd Royals down here, the 43rd Wessex, a lot of really incredible units from the UK. So it's definitely something you would want to do. If you were playing this scenario, you wouldn't just want to leave these units here. You'd want to be attacking all over the place if you could. But just for the sake of coming to the end of the stream, I'm trying to just show you guys some quick combat. So let's end the turn. Come on, boys. Beautiful. Told you they would make it through. Okay, no rounds left, guys. That is going to go to the Germans. And let's see what they do. Oh my goodness. Lots of movement from Germany. Well, that was quite interesting. So actually not a lot of death and destruction on either side. It looks pretty measured. We've also got our British airfields up here. Now, don't get mistaken. These British airfields aren't literally right next to Amersfoort, but it just represents the British air support that we have in other parts of the mainland, essentially. Very, very cool stuff. I want to see if the news tells us anything of note. And no. Of course, not every single scenario has news, and depending on what happens during that scenario, you might not get a news update. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this stream. I really love doing it. I hope you guys have fun watching. We had a ton of viewers for this stream. I'm really, really proud of you guys. We still have 13 viewing on YouTube. Actually, 13 on Slytherin YouTube and 4 on Matrix YouTube, so 17 watching on YouTube. I just want to thank everybody for being so supportive of this game. I love it. I love streaming it, and I hope you guys love watching as much as I love playing. Okay, guys, I'm off. We'll let Muzo share everybody's YouTube channel here. And obviously, check out the straw poll so that you can decide what we play this coming Friday. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care and have a great, great day.